My name is Jordan Belfort. The year I turned 26, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was $3 shy of $1 million a week.
Hello movie friends. Hope you have a great day. In this video, Movie Storyline will thoroughly examine one of Martin Scorsese's most controversial and energetic films, The Wolf of Wall Street. This film is based on the true story of a man named Jordan Belfort, the wolf who turned Wall Street into his personal playground, full of money, drugs, and chaos. With great enthusiasm, he managed to build his business from scratch to gain millions of dollars in investment from the stock exchange. However, with his wealth, he was actually lulled into momentary pleasures which led him to fall into bad things. How is the story of the journey? Without further ado, let's start the storyline. The scene begins by showing a man named Jordan Belfort, who is still 22 years old. Even though he is young, Jordan is very enthusiastic about getting a job so he can support his wife, Teresa Petrillo. With the skills he had, Jordan went to Wall Street, which is where all the stock exchanges in the United States gather. Upon arriving at the company, Jordan was immediately given an explanation that he would become a stockbroker, which means he will call more than 500 times a day. Jordan was also introduced to his senior named Mark. Mark's job there will be to guide Jordan to become a reliable broker. When the phone is busy, the office atmosphere becomes very chaotic. Everyone tries to convince their respective clients to invest their money in the stock company. At lunchtime, Jordan was invited by Mark to relax for a while. There Mark gave Jordan some tips and tricks to maintain his mood and enthusiasm as a broker. Although it sounds bad, Mark said that Jordan had to use cocaine to make his arms flexible. Mark asked Jordan to follow his movements. Jordan could only smile and obey. Every word Mark said not only provided a working strategy, also indirectly introduced a new world to Jordan. It is a world filled with drugs, prostitutes, and alcohol. After getting tips and tricks from Mark, Jordan earned a lot of money from the company just by talking nonsense. But on a day known as Black Monday, Jordan was forced to become unemployed when the entire stock market experienced a drastic decline. All employees were suddenly laid off, which forced Jordan to think again about how he could get a job. But Jordan is very optimistic. He convinced his wife not to pawn anything because he would soon get a new job. With the knowledge he gained on Wall Street, Jordan immediately went to a small company engaged in stock brokerage. After signing the employment contract, he was immediately invited to become an employee and look for his own clients. On his first day, Jordan managed to earn $20,000. Making him get praise from all the employees in the company for his hard work. Jordan managed to buy a luxury car and all his wishes. Until one day, a man named Donnie Azoff suddenly came to him. He asked Jordan about his job. Jordan replied that he was a broker who earned $72,000 a month. However, Donnie didn't believe Jordan's words. Therefore, he asked Jordan to show his payslip as proof. If true, then Donnie will soon be out of work. When Jordan showed his payslip, Donnie immediately called the company where he worked to resign. Then Donnie asked Jordan to teach him how to work. As a token of gratitude, Donnie gives Jordan a drug that will get them both high. After getting a new coworker, Jordan decided to resign from his job to open a new stock company. Together with Donnie, they both rented a garage as the starting point for their company. Because he needed a lot of people, Jordan then called his friends, most of whom had dropped out of school and worked at jobs. There's Alden Kupferberg, Robbie Feinberg, Rugrats, and also Chester Ming. The six of them decided to start a company from scratch with minimal capital. Jordan's friends, trying to convince each of his clients over the phone to invest in his small company. But Jordan realizes that no one will believe his friends, because he didn't even graduate from school. Finally, Jordan racked his brains to make his co-workers into reliable brokers. He gives some tips and tricks, as well as motivation to his colleagues on how to convince their clients to invest. Next, in a very short time with the company named Stratton Oakmont, Jordan managed to rent a large office and recruit a large number of employees. It didn't stop there. Jordan's success increased many times over until he continued to add employees and expand his office. One day, Jordan decided to throw a party on the beach to satisfy his employees. At this party, Jordan meets a former model named Naomi LaPaglia. At first glance, Jordan was immediately amazed by the beauty that Naomi showed. After the party, they decided to go on a date. Until finally, what Jordan did was caught red-handed by his legal wife, Teresa. Teresa chose to run away to her parents' house to avoid Jordan. So what about Jordan? He casually proposed to Naomi to be his wife. With a big wedding party, Jordan chartered a private plane to fly all his employees. During the trip, Jordan did not escape hiring prostitutes and drug parties. As a wedding gift from him, Jordan gave Naomi a luxury yacht. Naomi was pleasantly surprised, not expecting that. After his wealth became abundant, Jordan began to openly show off the money he had. In addition to giving Naomi a yacht, Jordan also gave her 2 penthouses equipped with guards and several luxury cars. Next, 18 months later, Jordan's old nature is now starting to return. Even though he has a beautiful wife, Jordan still often hires a prostitute. Until the next morning, Naomi openly heard Jordan mention the name of the prostitute. Initially, Jordan denied that he and Donnie were investing in the city of Venice, Italy. But Jordan's slip-up made Naomi angry. Feeling guilty, Jordan tries to make things right by flirting with Naomi. But he didn't realize that the room was equipped with CCTV, which meant that Naomi and Jordan's intimacy had to stop. Even though Jordan is now a very wealthy man, all of his wealth has not escaped investigation by an FBI agent named Patrick Denham. He tries to research Jordan's source of wealth as well as his company files. But Jordan was no less clever. He hired a great lawyer from across the country. Jordan even dared to pay a high price for the lawyer to help him escape from the problem. Worried that Patrick would investigate again, Jordan hired a banker named Jean-Jacques Sorel to process all his money in a Swiss bank. Since Denham's presence in his life, Jordan has become increasingly aware that if he keeps all his money in an American bank, it will make it easier for Patrick to use Jordan's wealth as evidence to detain him. Not only did Jordan keep his money in a Swiss bank, he also asked Naomi's aunt, Emma, to open a new account in a Swiss bank in Emma's name. Luckily, Emma was willing to open the account for Jordan. Now, there is only one final problem that Jordan has to solve, namely how to get all his money to Switzerland. Jordan thought again and racked his brain. Luckily, Jordan has a friend named Brad Bodnick, whose wife happens to be Swiss. Jordan finally asked Brad's wife for help to bring his money to Switzerland. Initially, they had the idea to stick all of Jordan's money on Brad's wife's body. But it seems that this idea is the stupidest idea that will definitely be suspected by airport officials. They also thought of another idea. In the end, Brad's wife decided to bring her relatives from Switzerland to help her bring all of Jordan's money. They flocked to carry Jordan's money, which was put in a suitcase. In this way, they managed to escape airport inspection. Apparently, Jordan is not the only one who wants to hide money in a Swiss bank. Donnie also wants to follow in Jordan's footsteps. He immediately had a meeting with Brad. But stupidly Donnie, he met Brad while drunk, which made the police officers suspicious. But the one the police arrested was not Donnie, but Brad. Seeing Brad being arrested, Donnie immediately ran away. Worried that Jordan will find out about the problem, Donnie decides to get Jordan to use drugs. But because one dose is not enough, they violate the rules for using the drug. While on the drug, Jordan's lawyer calls him to tell him that he has important information for him, but Jordan has to call him back at a payphone. Then Jordan immediately went to his house to use the public telephone so he could call his lawyer again. After being on the phone, Jordan's attorney informed him that the FBI had tapped every electronic device he owned. They will monitor every movement of Jordan and his family. He also advised Jordan to be careful. Not only that information he provided, Jordan's lawyer also informed him that his friend, Brad, had been arrested by the police after he met Donnie. Hearing this, Jordan couldn't hold back his anger. While under the influence of drugs, Jordan attempts to drive his car so he can meet Donnie. But unfortunately, Jordan couldn't control his car well, even though he arrived at Donnie's house. Jordan tries to beat up Donnie, who is also in the same drunken state as him. Donnie tries to avoid Jordan's punches. Until finally, not long after, the police came to Donnie's house to arrest them both. Not wanting to go to prison, Jordan persuaded his lawyer to bribe every law enforcer available so he could be released. He also asked his lawyer to release Donnie and Brad. Finally, after being released, Jordan threw a lavish party on his yacht to welcome back Brad, who had just been released from prison. Then the scene shifts to Jordan and Donnie, who are on a family vacation. Then Naomi suddenly comes to tell Jordan that Emma has just died of a heart attack. Hearing this, Jordan was shocked and confused, because his money that was stored in a Swiss bank was written in Emma's name. Luckily, Jean immediately told Jordan that before Emma died, she had made a will regarding the transfer of ownership to Jordan. However, Jordan had to leave for Switzerland that day to sign the transfer of ownership papers. Because if Jordan couldn't leave that same day, all his property that he kept in the Swiss bank would immediately be destroyed. Finally, Jordan ordered his cruise ship captain to sail his ship to Switzerland. In the middle of the journey, they did not expect that the ocean was experiencing a storm of waves which caused Jordan's ship to crash. Luckily, there were no casualties in the accident because the rescue team arrived quickly and immediately evacuated all passengers. After the accident, Jordan returned to America to make a public service announcement in which he motivated everyone. But it was there that Jordan was officially arrested by Patrick for the money laundering case that he had committed within his company. However, Jordan was allowed to go home first, because the case was still under investigation. After Jordan was named a suspect, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison, which made Naomi ask him to divorce her. This made Jordan angry, because he felt that Naomi didn't love him. Jordan even destroyed his sofa and used drugs that he hid in the sofa. Then Jordan went into his son's room and tried to run away using his car while he was drunk. Jordan actually damaged his own car. And that's where he apologized for being selfish. The next day, Jordan was called into the FBI office. There, Patrick gave Jordan an agreement to tell anyone involved in the money laundering case. Jordan also mentioned everyone involved, except Donnie, whom he considered his own brother. Based on the information Jordan provided, he was finally only sentenced to 36 months or 3 years in prison. Meanwhile, the Stratton Oakmont company has officially been seized by the FBI. In prison, Jordan appreciates his life more. He even forgot that he had ever been a rich man. Now, Jordan tries to live a healthy life by exercising in prison. After 3 long years in prison, Jordan was finally officially released. After his release, Jordan restarted his life as a sales trainer. Because with his expertise in public speaking and his experience in selling something, he can turn all his skills into something positive. And all the stories in this film are true stories of the life journey of a man named Jordan Belfort. The film ends. From this film, we can draw a moral message that can be learned, that The Wolf of Wall Street is a harsh picture of how ambition, greed, and a hedonistic lifestyle can destroy a person from within. Although Jordan Belfort reached the pinnacle of wealth and power, It was all built on lies and manipulation, which ultimately brought destruction to him and those around him. This film reminds us that true success is not just about material things, but also about integrity, responsibility, and the impact we leave on others. Money can give power, but without morality, that power will destroy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to be happy. See you in the next storyline.